I bring you dancing trinkets.
Can't be here. I killed you.
I don't do death. It's been so long. I'm so happy to see you.
Thursday's Fictions, which is a project that we've made that has had many incarnations, from the stage to the page to the screen as a film and now into Second Life.
Thursday's Fictions is a project about reincarnation, and the journey we're going to tell you about today is a journey of reincarnations of this idea across a number of forms. In this particular journey of Thursday's Fictions, we've moved from closed forms where mostly the information was delivered to an audience to more open forms where the audience or the user or the community gets to actually participate in the creation of the idea, and that's going to happen more and more into the future. In the stage show, Thursday's Fictions is trying to hold on to something, to carry something through from one life to the other. And what she is doing in that is carrying through her poems. In the stage show, we have a whole series of days of the week, and they are expressed through different media. In the book, we work through a whole series of literary forms. So there are monologues and dialogues, there's actually a radio play, there are lyrical poems, prose poems. So this kind of, this journey of Thursday's story across a series of days has within it a kind of a series of strange incarnations and reincarnations right at the base of the idea.
While the stage show has been about different kinds, different modes of performance, and the book has been about different modes of writing, the film becomes a very unified sort of thing, and it's unified around the theme of time. So it's both time as a visual image system and time as a time pressure on the characters. And for me, as the editor, it's very much about what cinema can do with time, and that's where I get my joy in working on these things, is that the manipulation of time and the flow of time. So it's really about time on all those levels.
Breathing in the eternal, and what I breathe in from all sides is beyond geometry, beyond mathematics. And then God comes to me in the form of a seagull. He says, give me your golden hand. Is this the forgiveness? I take it for a moment, which opens out a space beyond time.
Why did we want to create Thursday's Fictions in Second Life after we'd created all these other versions? Thursday's Fictions in Second Life is not an adaptation of the film or the book. It's another version of this reincarnating idea with its own integrity. We really came to see how this project about reincarnation actually fits hand in glove with Second Life, because Second Life, you know, the underlying theme, the unspoken idea is the reincarnation of people.
In our space in Thursday's Fictions, we don't actually tell you the story. We engage you with the story, and it's up to you to go through it and discover it in various ways.
You know, if you're writing a script, you're writing in time. This happens, and then this happens, and then this happens. In Second Life, you're writing in space. You're saying, if you go here, this happens. And also, you're writing in layered time and space, so that if you go here the first time, this happens, but if you go back here the second time, this happens. So it's a really different way of thinking.
one of the things that can happen as you move through spaces is that you trigger spaces to respond to you. So in our case, you're triggering a lot of text, and there's also, it's important to mention, there's a very beautiful and layered soundscape that Gary has created, drawing on the sound from the original film, which was beautifully created by Michael Yuzerski and Andrew Plain, quote, quote. Okay, the thing is, you're walking through these spaces in Second Life, and as you walk, you're triggering text. So when you're in the Grove, all of the text is about letting go of life. It's about the end of life, and it's drawn from a lot of sources. When you decide to go up to Purgatory, this is where you land, and this is the courtyard of life and death cycles. And these texts, as you move closer to trees, the trees will talk to you. And these texts are about the balance between life and death, the amorphous kind of possibilities of what you are at this moment as you let go of life and move towards death.
Once you move through those three gates, you get into this central area of Purgatory, which is this train station hallway, this waiting room hallway of a train station. And what happens as you walk through is ghosts will pass through you and say things to you.
Dance with me.
In the Thursday's Fictions version of the story, and again, it's important to emphasize, this is a crazy place. It's a train station with no roof in the sky, and the pillars are falling down. You know, go. Make stories. Go be in stories. One of the things that we'd really like to do at this point is start to deal with some of the characters who have dropped out of the film. Wednesday has a twin brother, for example, who didn't make it into the film. So maybe his story is going to make it into the Second Life version.
I'm a time traveler, and I'm writing the Constitution of Time.
Constitution.
You need courage to find what you seek.
It was a really interesting collaboration with Gary to reimagine this space from, remember we had the split space with the two sides of the brain. Well, now it's become a 4-part split space, so that we have this downstairs area which represents that mechanical side of the mind, and the mirror in the middle of that, the sort of surreal image that you have to pass through with passwords. And upstairs we have the more soft and lyrical side. So it's just kind of reimagined into a 3-dimensional environment in which you can actually pass through and experience this fracturedness in yourself.
In this virtual world, this process is iterative. I didn't know what that word meant for a while. I just pretended I did. But now I know what it means, which is that you make a version of the thing and you put it out there, and people come in and they try to get around it, and they have questions and they have problems, and then you respond to that and you go back and you remake it. So, you know, imagine deciding to do a pickup after the opening night of your film. No, you can't do that. It's finished. This is not finished. This is a live space. It's a live activity that's happening, and it's a conversation between us and the users. And soon, the notion is, and it's already beginning to happen, it's a conversation within the community of people who are engaging in it.